Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to July. So much has happened in June that I need to catch you up on. Sorry for my mini hiatus there. We're going to get into that in a little bit, like showing you kind of basically what June was all about and leading up to July and why I kind of had to take like a little bit of a break. Life just got absolutely cuckoo bananas, and I'm sure you can understand that, like that's life. So I took a little bit of a break, tried to like upload when and where I could, but just for like my mental health and sanity, like I'm the only one running this YouTube channel, like shooting content, editing, messaging, replying to comments, like that's all me. So I just needed a little bit of a break with how busy life had gotten. But welcome to my July monthly reset. I'm wondering if I should expand this to be a bit more inclusive of like mentioning favorites, favorite moments, least favorite moments, favorite products, things that I've tried, things that I've done, books, like all of that kind of stuff. If you're interested in more of like an actual full picture monthly reset beyond just like a money reset, let me know in the comments. I'm like playing with the idea of including that kind of stuff, but these videos are already like on the longer side, so that would make it like a 45-minute video. But if that's something you're interested in seeing, definitely let me know down below. I could yap about my favorite products and things I bought all day long, especially when they're like more sustainably minded and more of like an elevated living kind of purchase. I want to put you on. So let me know. If you're new here, my name's Elise. I don't know if I said that already or not. Life is crazy. I make videos all about mindful consumption and elevated living. So if you like that kind of intersection, definitely follow along. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, subscribe on YouTube, all the good things. First and foremost, let's start with the biggest update. I am a married woman. I am no longer a fiance. I am long past the stage of being just a girlfriend. I am married, okay? The marriage license in the mail, submitted, did the whole thing. It's official. I'm very excited to just be a part of a new family, but also like actually build my husband's lives and I together. I don't know if that's proper grammar, but he is my freaking husband, y'all. Like I am so over the moon about that. That is probably the biggest reason why I just needed a break. I genuinely was unwell. I wasn't even planning like a really big wedding or a wedding at all. We had a really intimate elopement ceremony in Brooklyn. So much transpired like leading up to that, like a lot of like personal things, health, and then also just day of events. Like it was honestly insanity, but I wouldn't change it for the world. It's very much so us. Just rewinding a little bit though, I started having impetigo recurrently outbreaking, and I needed to see the dermatologist for that. And then around that same time when I had my fourth impetigo outbreak, which if you don't know what impetigo is, it's just a bacterial infection. But the fact that I had gotten it 4 times in the span of like 5-ish weeks and I was about to get married the next week, I was like, we need to do something about this right now. At that same time, I was breaking out in like a stress rash, like eczema. I don't have eczema, but I did for like a little while, just being so stressed out about leading up to like the wedding, the ceremony, coordinating people coming in, like my family coming in town, making sure that they were staying somewhere that was close enough to where we were actually going to take pictures and get married, and like just coordinating other people, and then also making sure our lives are still going. So I did put YouTube on pause, like social media in general, just like on pause on the back burner, which balance, that's what it's all about. Yeah, my stress rash has gone away. I'm on antibiotics for the impetigo so it doesn't come back again. And honestly, that's making my skin a little super glowy. So I'm not like too fussed about it, but that was just the rundown of like leading up to the ceremony. And then also layer on top of that all of like getting my hair done, getting my nails done, making sure my brows look good, making sure I know how I'm doing my hair, my makeup, my tan, like my outfit, getting alterations. And like that's all stuff that we'll delve into when we get into the budget. And then on top of that, just like trying to be a little bit more conscious and mindful of our spending in this like really busy season. It was super challenging, but I'm glad like we obviously were going to have to go through that in some sense, like some variation, whether we had a super big wedding or an intimate wedding or just a ceremony or even just the courthouse. Like, but we wanted family involved. We wanted family to be there, but we didn't want like a massive like 400-person wedding. Even just going through like the ceremony stress, the thoughts of planning like a really big wedding, or like not even being the wedding planner, but like helping plan a wedding like would probably make me break out into hives again. I can't think about it for too long. Otherwise, I genuinely get itchy. And we're not even like done yet. Like we're still going to have our wedding reception in November and like actually open that up to a bit more people. But I'm telling you guys, just the lead up to it, I'm even like itching a little bit, just like reliving it. Obviously, it wasn't smooth sailing, but I felt like I was managing the stress fine. But I think because I was kind of like bottling it up a little bit, it was manifesting like on my body. So we'll see that reflected in the budget, how many times I picked up prescriptions and went to the dermatologist. Yeah, that's probably the biggest update is I'm a married woman. That vlog is going to be coming out soon. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you want to see a marital glow up vlog. Like, are you kidding me? It's going to be the best I've ever done, truly. Without further ado, I think we should actually get into the budget. That was enough, reflecting here. I'm going to be looking down at my laptop here, but the budget template, budget tracker that I use is one that I'm currently building out actually. And I'm hoping to offer this out to you guys like probably in the new year. I just want to really fine tune some things. I think functionally it's really great, but like aesthetically, I want to like bump it up a notch and I want to research how to do all that. Like I don't have Gemini, so I'm not using AI for this. It's truly just my brain. I love how it works for me. But again, if I'm going to offer it out to the world, I want it to be like as close to perfect as possible. So anyway, let's get into June. Just looking at it, there's literally 3 green bars in the entire budget, which is like obviously not great, especially when you compare it to like months past. There's more yellow and green and like a mix versus June is just like mostly red. Not great. So let's start with my essentials. We only went over budget by $112.06, even on like a super high spend month, which shows me that we have really got our essentials like nailed down. We know exactly how much we're going to spend, when we're going to spend it, when those things come out, how to kind of also like tweak things a little bit to make our essential expenses lower or within budget. So I can tell you right off the bat, a lot of our overspend in this category came from groceries. We were at $50.64 over, which again, not bad considering we had my mom and her boyfriend stay here and we hosted them and had groceries for them and just picked up, a little bit more than we probably normally would have. And then also we got a permit for fencing. So that went under housing, which is why our housing budget is $50 over. Now we had no idea when this was going to happen or how much this was going to be. Honestly, there's like a whole saga about this side part of our yard that wasn't our yard, but now is our yard and we need a permit to fence it, blah, 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 blah. Super boring, but that's rolled into the budget. That's why we're $50 over there. Electric, we were only $8.54 over, which is really great. July, I'm definitely going to crank up how much we're spending on electric because of the heat wave that just passed. I'm like so happy it did pass. And then we're also over in healthcare because at the top of June, I didn't think that my impetigo was going to come back. I didn't think I was going to have a stress rash. I didn't think I was going to need antibiotics. So I didn't budget anything for healthcare. Silly me. I actually ended up spending $61.83 on my appointments and my prescriptions. Then for transit, I was $40 under because I was so stressed out and because there are World Cup games. My manager was just like, the week of my wedding was kind of like, just stay home, girl. We don't need you here that bad. Like, we'll need you, but like, just stay home. So that was really nice to kind of like ease up on the budget, but also literally not stress out so much, like commuting into the city because it is a nightmare. And then everything else is pretty standard. So we love that. Moving down into accommodations. At the beginning of June, and I kind of want to acknowledge, like, I do go into this budget sometimes, like maybe 2 weeks in, and if plans are changing, I adjust the budget accordingly. I think budgets are meant to be flexible. I don't think you should punish yourself if you have to change something or if plans change. Like, that's life, and I think we should also account for some flexibility because you can plan something. What's the saying? Like, you make a plan and God laughs. Like, that's genuinely how life is. You just can never ever know. I do go back in and adjust things, and I remember at the beginning of June I was thinking we're gonna stay in the city, we're gonna have like a mini moon, and let me budget $800 for accommodations. We did not end up doing that, and I knew that, so I went and zeroed this out. For beauty, I don't know why I'm at $200 actually. I budgeted $0. I do remember buying a face cream and a Medicube, and then, oh, you know what? I did get my nails done, and I did get my hair cut. That would be it. Nails and hair for the elopement ceremony. I got a really nice haircut, actually. I'm sorry my hair is up in a clip. I got a really nice haircut that I super love, but because it's so fresh, I don't want to use heat on it. You're not supposed to use heat for like the first 2 weeks, so your cuticles can like fully seal and close. So I'm just, protective styling it. Books and stationery, $0. You might be like, why do you have this category? We're going to use it in July. So don't you worry. Clothing, super far over because I had my dress altered and that ended up being $165. Let's actually go look at my clothing spend. So let's see what transactions are here. I bought my wedding shoes and another pair of shoes on ThredUp at the top of the month, like literally June 1st. I did forget about that. Etsy, I got a veil that I didn't use and I can't return, so that's a bummer. Gap, I bought 2 tank tops and I'm genuinely obsessed with them. Like I don't regret this at all. Target was super annoying. Before we went to the spa after our elopement ceremony, we didn't have time to come back home and grab our clothes that we had laid out and like let Arya out and like do the whole thing because there was just so much traffic and we ended up sticking around longer. So due to our poor planning, we ended up spending money at Target, which just does not sit well with me. Like it's so annoying, but honestly, it is what it is. It's in the past, but that's just like another example of when planning can really save you some serious money, because I actually don't know if this clothing transaction is correct because I think I spent closer to like $75. Yeah, not great. Not super happy about that. Oh, I put my bouquet under clothing just because I felt like that made the most sense, like clothing and boutonniere. And then I also bought t-shirts at AIM, which is a slow fashion brand in the UK. I'm like, wait, actually my alterations are not here on this. So did I even account for that? And then that's going to make my budget go even higher. Wait, pain. Okay, hold on. Oh my God, I didn't even put it in. Hold on. Okay. Wow. Now let's see how much I'm over. So $534.97 for clothing when I only really budgeted $100. I'm like, what? I think it's because I put the bouquet under clothing and then we had dry cleaning and alterations and those kinds of things. They just need to be done, but they're not exactly an essential purchase. Like I didn't need my dress tailored, but it made me much more comfortable and it was much more flattering with it tailored. And obviously that's money I am going to spend for my wedding day. And my dress is a little bit more intricate, you will see in the vlog, and needed a bit more like detailed work done to it. So we just gotta keep it on. Coffee, we're over budget by $3.01. Not too bad, honestly. I think I'll probably just budget $30 next month because our coffee budget has been like up and down and all around, and I feel like, okay, looks like we're leveling out like around that $30 mark. Decor/furniture, I have like our automatic payment to our furniture credit card with 0% interest, which is amazing. And then I also bought a lamp from Facebook Marketplace. Now that was that was a cash transaction. The lamp is low-key trash though. I thought it was stained glass. It's actually acrylic and I'm kind of mad about that. Obviously, anyone would be mad about that. It just looks like stained glass, but it's actually, I'm pretty sure, acrylic. Anyway, because that was a cash transaction, like that is petty cash that I had on hand, but should I really account for it in the budget? I say yes because that's still money spent, but it's just different because it was cash. Okay, next big hitter. I ended up going in, and when I was doing the reallocation, thinking however much I had budgeted for before for dining was like way too much for like our reception. Turns out it wasn't enough because I completely forgot about tip on top of like a party of 15 for like family style pizza. So that came out to like a little under $700, but we're just calling it an even 7. And then we also went out for our like anniversary, like dating anniversary, which was like a week prior. And then we went out for dinner again with my mom and brother and everyone. And then we had sushi takeout. So that was $950. And then we had like a quick lunch here and there. Like it just came out to over $1,000 of dining out, which if you look at our budget past is not the case. Like last month on dining out, we spent $10.30. Like we are just not people that eat out that often. We just don't really think it's worth it, obviously. Like we really enjoy cooking. We make good food. Like it's very enjoyable cooking it and then also eating it and then knowing like it's not costing you an arm and a leg. That's just something like we're really good about. We really love to cook and eat in, and dining out is not something we really budget for that often. I think like the mini lunch reception afterwards was honestly so fun and worth it. And would I do it again? Yes. But would I allocate more properly for it? Also, yes. Next, we had entertainment. We did not go see a movie. So, woo, we are up $25 there. Gifts/donations. So we had a friend have her baby shower, which I think I accounted for, but then we also ended up buying our Tom's nephew's birthday present like a little bit earlier, and I don't think I accounted for that. And then I also bought Arton like a little mini wedding gift. So we had like a decent chunk of gifts, but I have sinking funds that I pulled out to account for all of this, which is great. Home supplies, we ended up buying like a curtain and a curtain rod for our study room to turn that into a guest room, which is a really nice like quick fix, and I'm glad we did that. I think I only in my head was budgeting for like actual cleaning supplies versus like guest kind of stuff, so that's on me for not super planning for it. And then what is this personal care category? Why are we $634 over? Never mind. I put the spa here. I said we're doing a spa day instead of like a mini moon, and our spa trip for an hour-long deep tissue massage, couples massage, and 2 hours of access to the spa was $544 and some change after like tip and tax and everything. And we didn't even stay the full time. I think it was worth it. I definitely think like it was a nice like treat ourselves moment, especially how stressed out like we both were leading up to everything. Would I do it again? Only ever as a treat. This is not something I would like do some willy-nilly like spending on. Let's see what else that other personal care transaction was. I know Arton bought a hand sanitizer from Ulta, but there's one other transaction here. I want to see something else. I bought sunscreen from Target. I think I also got new toothpaste and then also a waterproof mascara, all in that transaction. I'm counting, I guess, looks like I'm counting my moisturizer from Sephora as a personal care thing, which feels like cheating. Like, shouldn't that be beauty? But also, I don't know. It's something that like I don't know. That's a tough one because like I'm not gonna not use a moisturizer, and I feel like beauty stuff is like stuff you can go without. And then something from CVS, which I think was probably like gum or something. I am adding like a miscellaneous category because I do find that some of these transactions don't bucket so nicely, and I would like to have something a bit more comprehensive. And miscellaneous, I think, is just gonna do that for us. Next, we didn't spend any money on Aria for subscriptions/memberships. We were in line $1.89. This is actually probably not accurate because I don't think I logged my Spotify, so I think we're over here too. Be right back. Okay. Yeah, so we're over by $18.36. Another one bites the dust. Another one turns red. And then travel, $25, and then we didn't spend anything there. I'm trying to think. Honestly, there's probably some parking unaccounted for in the budget that Arton needs to plug in. It's just not here. So, as you can see, we were over budget by $2,197.19. Not looking too good. And I think why I'm personally really feeling that is because in May, we were also over $2,040.50. So that kind of lag of like, you know, how you pay your credit card off one cycle and then you can like breathe for the next. It's not like that this time around. It's two back-to-back very, very expensive billing cycles. So my solution to that is to increase my income. I'll be grinding on the UGC front. If you buy anything from an affiliate link, that would really help. Not begging you to, but just an idea. And then we're always putting away $1,250 for our Roth IRA, so $625 respectively, because we want to hit the limit. And honestly, if I keep contributing to my Roth IRA at the limit the way I am, I'm good to retire. Like, I don't need to be doing any other investing unless I invest like in a brokerage account and like brain all over the place, and invest there to like pull out funds pre-retirement, but like a little early retirement in a sense where like I won't get penalized from pulling out of like a 401k or a Roth IRA. And then I since have dropped my contribution from 5% to 3%. So $162.57 was deposited into my 401k with Fidelity. It's all ETF. That's the only thing I personally invest in. And then did I pull anything out from savings? I did pull out money from my gift fund. Never mind. I have a sinking fund withdrawal part here. I pulled out like 168 and some change. Did I get any cash back this time around? No. My high yield savings account was close to $60, which was nice. Did I make anything from social media? No. I made, I think maybe $20 from UGC, and I didn't make anything from resale, but I'm pretty sure Arton did. So he's going to get $20 there added to the budget. I finally broke out my savings. It was just one really large bucket, but that was extremely difficult for me to keep track of what's money that's for my expenses, what's for travel, what's for gifts, and it was just like all lumped together. So more likely than not, I would be dipping into a fund that wasn't for its intended use. So I wanted to stop doing that and finally broke them out. If you want a video on that, let me know. I found it to be super, super helpful. Going into the budget, I knew that we would be at least negative by 540, which I don't think you should be budgeting this way. I genuinely think you should be at a zero budget, but we have sinking funds. Like, let me emphasize that. Like, we're not gonna go into debt because of this. It's just like, for me personally, I might be pulling out of a fund that wasn't intended for general expenses. I might be pulling out of my travel fund or my gift fund, which is not what I want to be doing, but I'd rather pay off my credit card bill, get it to zero before, the month ends, and I get a 25% interest fee. So we're not doing that. That being said, we ended the month with negative $1,630.25 in comparison to our income. Like, that's how I look at it. That money will come from savings, sinking funds, etc., to pay off like those credit card bills. So don't worry, we're fine. In that sense, obviously, that's not something you want to deplete and then never replenish. So if I need to withdraw from like my emergency fund or something, I will then work to replenish that. Like, that's not something I feel comfortable doing just for the sake of doing it. June was hectic. It was crazy. It was chaotic. It was busy, but it was so rewarding and fulfilling. And when you like get to the peak of the hill and you're there and you're like, this is it. This is what all of this work, effort, and energy was for. And then you can like enjoy the coast down the hill. That's where I'm at right now. And I feel amazing. And just like a big sigh of relief. It's all done and over with. And now we get to like actually enjoy being newlyweds. So very excited for that. However, I have realized a few things, not only just from like June, but just in general. I have been budgeting incorrectly. So we're going to set this July budget up a little bit differently than I have in the past. And we're going to start with my savings goals. So we're going to go down here, and what savings do I want to put away? I am deleting that mortgage extra. Like, no, we can't do that. My emergency fund topped up, so we don't need anything there. For travel, I'm putting away $250 at the beginning of every single month. So $250 is already gone because as I'm filming this, it's July 5th, so I'm a little behind the curve here. Home projects, I'm only putting away $25. Gifts, I am putting away $106.25 because I have a very specific goal of $500 by October because I have something in mind for Arton's 31st birthday. Camera, I am putting away, how much did I decide to put away every month? They're all recurring deposits in my high yield savings account, which is really lovely. Like if you can automate something, that's always my first advice, do it. It's going to be $50 every single month, so I don't have to like think about it, but I am going to start logging this in my budget a bit more closely to make sure my income isn't going towards discretionary frivolous spending. It's going to be going towards things that I actually want and have wanted and long-term want and want to be able to treat other people, travel, all those things. And then let's go down to income. I think this is what I need to be starting my budget with, is like, how much am I making? How much am I saving? Okay, here's what we have to spend on our essentials, and then what's left over. Then we budget. And I think I've been doing it the wrong way. I think I was just really excited to like start having numbers of like how much things were costing, and I was budgeting like a little bit in reverse. Let's start with my income. I think this is going to be, oh wait, it's another 5 paycheck month. Lucky me. So I'm going to just copy over this 440. Sorry, I'm so bad with math and numbers. No, actually, I'm going to stop telling myself that. I am working on getting better at reading numbers and being better at math. I mean, I fully did calculus, so I'm good. Actually, I can do that. Arton, I'm just going to carry over his amount, even though I don't think he gets a 3 paycheck month. He might. I should text him. Okay, TBD on that. Refunds, I'm not expecting anything. Sinking fund withdrawals, we'll see. We'll see how much money I'm like literally able to make this month before I have to touch any sort of sinking fund. I'd way rather not. Cash back, I'm not expecting any cash back. For my high yield savings account, it'd be so cool, so fun, so cool to get like actual money from that. I think our high yield savings account amount has like increased. Social media, I don't expect a YouTube payout. UGC/affiliate. Now this is a lever I can really lean into and pull up and like really try to grind and make like $100 at least from UGC. I feel like I do want to commit to that and just want to commit to social media in general. Maybe not so much, I mean, yeah, I guess as a way to like increase my income, but also just like grow my audience and grow my channel. Those kind of go hand in hand. So I would like to set the ambitious goal of making $150 from UGC alone, and then we'll go from there. Resell, I'll say like $20. Now we've got 5,000 and some change to work with. I'm just going to copy over our planned expenses because we've been pretty good there. Groceries, I'm going to keep the same. Electric, I'm going to bump up to $175, and gas, I'm going to bump down to like $50. Gas has not been very expensive at all for us. Water and sewer, I think I'm going to go $0. Healthcare. Oh, I do have a dentist appointment, so I know that's going to be at least $25 to get my cleaning. Transit, I think I'm going to keep at $150 because I still had $60 to play with, but I also didn't go in as often last month, so I know this will probably be a little bit higher. Phone, insurance, car, taxes. Those are all good. Now we've got $3,977 to play with, but I only want to budget like around 2,000, so that way we're not struggling. I'm going on a no buy July, except for one thing. So let me just make that loud and clear, and I'll probably make a video about this later. As nice as it is to just spend money, there comes a point when you're like, okay, enough is enough. We've talked about doing a mini moon. I'm gonna give us $500 because I don't want to hold us back, and I know I just literally, the words came out of my mouth, no buy July, but I think in the sense of like, I'm not buying beauty, I'm not buying clothing, it's even more strict. It's stricter than my no buy nothing new. I'm not going to go thrifting. I'm just not going to buy anything. Beauty, $0. Books/stationery. Okay. I lied again. I'm going to budget $125 for all of my invites, envelopes, stamps, and everything that needs to go out for the reception party in November. And then also I am sending out physical invites from our ceremony as keepsakes for the people that were there and some friends. Clothing, $0. I have nothing coming up. Coffee, what did I say? We're going to budget 50? No, 30. Decor/furniture, 0. Dining, I'll give us, if we do go out to eat, I'll give us like $250. Where are we at here? Okay, we got like 1,000 left. Entertainment, maybe we see a Tuesday movie. I think that would be really cute of us. Gifts/donations. I don't think anyone or anything is coming up that requires a gift. I have sinking funds for it if we do come across something that requires a gift, but for now, zero. Home supplies, I feel like we are buying, just like we're re-upping on a lot of cleaning stuff, so we'll do that. Personal care, I'm gonna give $0 for that. We shouldn't need anything. Aria, she hasn't needed anything. Subscriptions and memberships, we have like our Spotify and our, what's it called? Apple Cloud, iCloud, whatever. Travel, I am traveling for a bachelorette at the end of this month. And I do think anything that I spend is going to be coming out of that travel sinking fund. I'm talking like dinners out, buying groceries. I'm just going to tag it all as like travel, 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 and then immediately take that from my sinking fund and just pay all that off. I'm like on the wave of I want my credit card balances to be at zero at the time of purchase, basically. I want to pay them off immediately. So travel, I would just say $500 and just leave it at that. And let's see. Okay, wait, that looks really healthy. $2,499.92 left to spend. I am not planning to actually spend that, especially because this $370 is not guaranteed and I don't want to spend money that we don't have. So that feels good to me. 401k, I'm going to put it at 160, even though my most recent paycheck got really effed up and they only took $9.66 out of a 10-hour pay stub. Super weird. My Roth IRA, oh yeah, duh. I don't know why I was thinking about that one. General investing, zero for REITs, unfortunately. And then yes, my savings is already all set up, which feels really good. Like I don't have to do mental gymnastics as the month is coming up and be like, oh, like what do I need to put away for? Like it's happening in the background, so I don't have to worry about that. July, we do already have some expenses rolling in. We can review those together. We did a bigger grocery trip at Whole Foods and bought so much ice cream for the 4th of July. So much of ice cream has been on sale. So we've been like stocking up our freezer, which is fine. Like we're definitely going to eat it. And then I guess I just stopped locking my transactions. I'll have to go back and do that. That is June. Now, if we look at the spending breakdown, these numbers are not super ideal. We have 57.3% for essentials, 30.5% for extra spending, discretionary. Oh God. And then 12.2% for investing. Now, this is basically saying like we're not saving anything. It's not rolling that amount in. So I am still unsure how to account for like investing / saving. I do want to like add a little tab for future and then maybe log my savings in here. TBD on that, but this is our breakdown. Of course, like our mortgage is our biggest thing, and we have all these other little pieces of the pie. Clothing is 4.5% of spending. Like that's ridiculous. What else? Dining, 9.9%. And like $1,000 in dining is just so not like us, and that's like money that could have been allocated elsewhere. But at the same time, like Arthur and I talked about this earlier, we planned for these things, but we didn't put aside the money for them like ahead of time. We're like, oh, we have money like saved somewhere for it, but we didn't like intentionally put money away. And that was kind of like the light bulb moment I had of like, well, we know these things are coming up, so why aren't we just like putting them aside well beforehand and pulling from that pot like when it's time? So we are attacking our savings differently. We're going about it differently. I feel good about this plan. I feel good about having so much money left over because, again, we do need to pay for the month prior, and I feel better this way. I don't feel too restricted in like any one certain area. The only thing I will do is maybe give myself like $30 for a moisturizer because I am running out of my daytime one. And that's the only thing I can think of. Otherwise, $0 across the board. No by July. You heard it here first. Okay, that was a lengthy one. I am very excited to have my wedding glow up vlog out for you guys to like watch and follow along and see the process and see how I'm spending my money. It's not just like abstract numbers. Like, these purchases do contribute to the quality of life for a person, and I like showing you that in a vlog, but also showing you how I'm doing it mindfully. Like, these are well thought out purchases or things that I'm spending my money on. It's never impulsively, and if I make a boo-boo, I show that to you as well, even if it's not the most aspirational thing in the world. I'll be so honest. I was very like, ooh, do I even film like a July reset? I'm so far over budget, and this is the second month in a row. Like, that's embarrassing. But I think being transparent about it and how you figure things out and work your way out of certain situations that you put yourself in, and like taking accountability, and like me now reflecting on my budget, like I'm saving incorrectly. I need to be saving first and then spending whatever's left after that. Like, that is really changing the game for me, and I'm excited to see what my budget looks like go forward. And it's good to just like take a moment to say, okay, I like messed up here, I spent too much here, we didn't account for that, like we can do better, and this is how we're going to. I feel really good about that now. I'm very excited to be back and like up on my social media game, back on my YouTube grind. I just love creating. Like, I can't get away from it. In my planner, I have this whole post-it note of like content I want to create. It's like short form and podcasts and long form. And I'm just like trying to find the time to like sit down and get it done and do it. And I'm just excited to be back. So thanks for watching. If you made it to this point in the video, I love you so, so very much. I'll catch you guys in my next video. There's going to be one at the end of this one that the algorithm is going to recommend just for you. So stick around to see what that is. Until next time, don't forget to be kind to yourself, others, and the planet. Bye.